What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Of course, we're doing another Q&A pulled from my Instagram reel, KennyKO. How long to see STARM cutting stack results? By the way, guys, I'm not a doctor. Do not do anything without your doctor's supervision. This video is all for informational and educational purposes only. By chance you need anything for your lab rat, check out the link in the description down below. But for a cutting stack, you know, Half Wicked, Pure Raws, Swiss Chems, all the different companies out there, I'm sure majority offer some type of cut stack. Normally to see results, because majority of cut stacks are going to consist of at least Half Wickeds, is RAD 140 and Cardarine. Very fast acting, depends what they include in their cut stack, as you just heard me mention, but you should start seeing results if it includes those compounds, and most SARMs are very fast acting, within a week. Like, I'm not saying you're gonna have a night and day difference in a look of your physique, but you're definitely gonna feel it. When you go to the gym, you're gonna be able to push more weight, you're just gonna feel better, get more out of your workouts, cardiovascular, everything's just gonna feel so much better. You should definitely be feeling the compounds. If you're not feeling it, you probably got bunk compounds from whatever source you were going through. The dosage may be too low for you. There's a lot of different variables, but most times, more than not, it's gonna be bunk, it's gonna be fake, and that's probably the reason you're not feeling it. But that's a good way to tell if you have something that's legit or not, is if you feel it within the first week. I'm on TRT 250 a week, added RAD 140 1 month, 10 milligrams a day. Can I just do HCG for PCT? So 250 milligrams of test sip or enanthate would be my guess per week. Added RAD 140 for 1 month at 10 milligrams a day, which is very low RAD, by the way. But if that's all you were running, yeah, you don't even need to do a PCT. HCG, I would say you don't need any type of PCT at all if you're already on TRT, 250 milligrams a week. But if you want to keep your testicular function going, you know, maybe fill out your testes a bit, or you're infertile, I don't know, if you and your lady, if you have a lady, are trying to get, you know, her pregnant or something along those lines, then HCG for sure. Some people like to have a bigger looking, you know what, and bodybuilding is all about ratios. So if the balls are smaller than the shaft, that's usually a good look. But if you're one of those guys who obsesses about having the biggest balls on the planet, then by all means take HCG, because that will guarantee you fill your testes back out. Or like I mentioned, if you want to, you know, potentially maybe one day come off a TRT or something, and you want to make sure you still have testicular function, you aren't completely shut down for the rest of your life. But I want to make it very clear, that's just for someone that is on TRT, okay? So testosterone replacement therapy, that would be the only scenario that applies to. Will your store ever carry DNP? For those who don't know what DNP is, do a quick Google search. You will see all the reasons why I will never ever sell DNP. It wasn't even ever intended. It's included in explosives. I don't think if people understand that. Something you put into explosives, people are ingesting into their bodies to burn fat. Not only do you pee an extremely repulsive color, you're basically melting your body from the inside. You can die so extremely easy from taking DNP, from just eating too many carbs, or your body basically overheating internally from the carb consumption. There's so many things that could go wrong with DNP. I would never risk it. I would never want to put anyone near that risk. I've never even personally taken it because of how bad it scares me. So if it scares me that bad, I would never ever promote it to anyone else. In fact, not only am I never going to sell it, I would never encourage anyone even ever try it. There's absolutely no point. Or maybe you've taken it. If you have taken it, leave it in the comments down below if you had some type of experience. But if you were ever considering it, please don't do it. Take my advice, okay? Please don't do it. There's so many better options, healthier options that are actually good for your health and also aid in fat loss. Cardarine, for example. Please, okay? Be careful. Thoughts on 17-year-old taking MK677 or RAD 140, maybe even Winstrol? Ooh, 17 is a little young, man. I'm assuming you're a guy, just because my demographic is mostly male. My advice is, I always say wait till you're 25. I wish I had waited till I was 25. Let your natural genetic potential absolutely peak. Then start your cycles, build your physique off a natural base or foundation. You don't know where you're gonna be in a couple years, especially at 17, extremely young. Now, I understand a lot of people are gonna take my advice. Some people are not gonna take my advice. At the end of the day, it's your body. You can do whatever you want. If you wanna start a cycle, go ahead. Just please be safe about it. Do your research, but I do recommend you at least wait till you're 25 years old. And then in that time frame of from 17 to 25, those 8 years, you may change your mind in 6 months that you don't want to go on cycle, that you want to stay natural, or a year, 2 years, 4 years down the road. People are always changing their minds about different things in their life and what their goals and what they're trying to achieve are. So you don't know what you're gonna think when you're 25. You may look back like I am, and when you're 25 and say, man, I wish I'd never started that cycle at 17 years old. Not that I started that early, but that could be something that you regret later on down the road. But like I mentioned, I mean, it's up to you. I don't recommend it. Can you run PCT without HCG? So this is kind of similar to that other question. Yeah, you could definitely run it without. It is going to be beneficial because, like I mentioned, it just helps jumpstart your natural test production. It's very crucial for people that are trying to have a child because of the fertility, or like I mentioned, the aesthetic purposes and just jump starting the test. So it is very beneficial in a PCT, post-cycle therapy, which I highly recommend for anyone that's taking any type of cycle that is at all even the slightest bit suppressive. But is it needed like with your Clomid, Nova, or other PCT products that are out there on the market? It's not 100% needed, okay? But it is beneficial. Also with HCG, I forgot about this part, is an injection. So I have HCG in my fridge. Normally you load it up in an insulin needle, you go subcutaneous, which means under the skin. You'll like pinch the skin on your stomach, you'll put it underneath the skin, and then that's how you do your HCG. My prescription is twice per week. I don't even use it. Some people are scared of needles. Totally understandable. I get it. I have a sister with a phobia of needles. So if that's not for you, if you hate needles, you probably shouldn't do HCG. Restock soon. So I try and do a restock once a week. I've been pretty good about restocking every week. And the thing is, every restock, I add more and more inventory and still somehow you guys sell it out in a matter of hours. I thought for sure I was gonna reach a certain peak where, you know, I was gonna have the inventory and then it just was gonna stop, like it wasn't gonna sell out anymore, that maybe it would take a couple days, maybe even a week to sell out. And then I would be able to do the restocks in more, you know, spread out time frames. But you guys sell it out every single time. Yeah, try and restock every week, man. And just make sure to head over to my Instagram, RealKennyKO. That's where I do all the announcements for when the restocks will be. Turn on post notifications on my Instagram, as well as this YouTube channel. I forgot to say, make sure to subscribe if you guys are not already. Turn on post notifications so you guys can get notified when I upload. And then the post notifications on Instagram will notify you when I am doing a restock. Hey Kenny, I have zero clue where I should start. I don't even know how to do it. Please help. This is a tough question because, I mean, everyone's opinion is gonna differ. Everyone's body's gonna react different to different things. My advice is start minimal. You know, if you're gonna do a cycle, start with maybe a SARM or two, or start with a very simple test-only cycle, low-dose test. But before even starting the cycle, get blood work. So do your before blood work, see where your levels are at for your liver enzymes, your testosterone, your estrogen, your thyroid, everything all-encompassing, cholesterol, so you can see exactly how you are doing internally before you even start a cycle. Now, once you have that out of the way, then you could dive into the research portion of looking up exactly what you want to do. Let's say you're debating taking testosterone. Go on for hours, you know, days, weeks. Look up studies on testosterone, people's results taking testosterone at certain dosages, what side effects to look out for. Make sure you have your post-cycle therapy set up if you finally confirm that you want to start a cycle. And, you know, just make sure you're doing everything in a correct manner, the safest way possible. I'm not, like I mentioned, I'm not at all recommending you guys take a cycle, but be safe about it. If you are at all ever debating doing it, or if you have done it, continue to do it. Be safe about it. Do research. I mean, the nice part about today's day and age, we have so much information at our fingertips, readily available online. You can go to Google, you can look up doctors who have their own YouTube channels now talking about testosterone, TRT channels. You have all sorts of a great plethora of information to pluck and pull from. You might as well use it. But then once you do your first pin, take your first pill, just be aware of what's going on in your body as it changes. If you're starting to, you know, get hair loss or some acne, aggression, gyno, just be aware of everything that could possibly happen to you, and then make adjustments as needed. Just be safe about it. At what dose of test would you say there is no longer any point adding RAD or LGD? I don't think there's really ever a point where there wouldn't be a point to add RAD or LGD because they're so different. If you think about, let's compare RAD 140 to say Winstrol or Winnie. a very popular DHT steroid. If you're taking testosterone, it's great. Testosterone is the best. You'll hear many test is best, common saying. But when you stack testosterone with, say, Winstrol, that's a very popular contest prep stack because Winstrol is notorious with the DHT for drying you out, giving that vascular, striated, just overall 3D, great chiseled look. RAD 140, if you add that on there, testosterone, no matter what dosage you're at, whether that's 300 milligrams a week or 800 milligrams a week, you're still going to see benefits from taking RAD because it's a different compound. But because they're different compounds, you could stack it at any point and you're still going to see benefit in doing it. And the same could be said for LGD. Let's say LGD is like the D-ball or Dianabol. You could throw that into the testosterone cycle and the Winstrol cycle at any time and you're still going to see benefit because they're different. I hope that answers the question. Really, any dosage of testosterone, you're going to see benefit in taking RAD or LGD. If that's 300 milligrams, 100 milligrams, 500 milligrams, 800 milligrams of testosterone, of course, then you are going to see a benefit taking RAD or LGD. And that wraps up the questions for this Q&A. I hope you guys got some enjoyment. As I mentioned, if you want to be included in the next Q&A, make sure to follow my Instagram, shoot me a DM. I post on there very often on my stories, asking you guys what questions you'd possibly like. And I try and pull ones that I know multiple people would be able to benefit from. Maybe not a certain individual type question, but more where multiple people could gather information. But as I mentioned, make sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications so you guys get notified. I'm gonna try and do more routine uploads on this channel. It's definitely hard managing everything I'm doing and also having 2 YouTube channels and trying to remain consistent on uploads. If you have any more questions or experience or anything you would like to input, make sure to leave it in the comments down below. Remember, be careful, do your research, do your blood work before, during, after. Be safe about everything, do your research. Do your first cycle, don't do your first cycle. I'm not a doctor, don't do anything without your doctor's supervision. Everything you guys need is in the description down below, and I will catch you all in the next one.